listeners. Today I'm going to teach you force and laws of motion. Before we start with the force and laws of motion, I would like to introduce myself in 2 or 3 sentences. So, my name is Prachi and currently I am pursuing my MSc Biotechnology and I am a part-time tutor on my channel Revision Thrika, which is in YouTube. So we start our chapter with force and laws of motion. It comes in chapter number 2, physics of class 9th. So before we proceed with forces and laws, we first know that what is the meaning of motion. What is motion? So we understand motion with a small example. Let's suppose here at a place A, a tree is there, and at the place B, a house is there. Let's suppose house is there. So what is motion? By definition we know that a body is said to be in motion when it continuously move with respect to a stationary object or continuously change its position with respect to some stationary object and the time consumed by it. So let's suppose a boy at place A, after some time T, reaches at position B at his home. So we can say that a boy is in motion. Boy is in motion, a boy body, or we can say that, or here we can use a car. It is in motion with respect to a stationary object B and continuously changing its position towards B. So what is motion? An object is said to be in motion when it continuously changes its position with respect to time and the stationary object. So this is all about the brief revision of the motion, but now we are going to proceed with forces and law. So what is force? Have you ever wondered, or when you are pulling doors of your houses, markets, or anywhere else? So we can understand the force with the example of door. I think this is the best example to understand force. So I will demonstrate by showing this diary. Suppose this is a door and this is the house where you want to enter it. So yes, what you do? You are this is a pen and you want to enter in this door. Then what you will do? You will just pull it towards yourself and get inside. And for closing the door, what you will do? You will pull towards your side. So what you have done at first? You have pushed the door and pulled the door. To open the door, we continuously push or pull the door. So from this we can get the definition of force, that is push or pull on an object is known as force. Like what we do in pulling, we pull the object towards away from ourselves, or we pull the object towards ourselves. So this is a definition of force. Like example of force in day-to-day life, I gave the example of door and few examples like lifting, kicking, pulling, pushing, and etc. There are lots of examples of forces. If you know, you can comment below me what else in your mind about the force by understanding the definition of push or pull. So force has its direction, in which direction we are exerting our force and in which direction we are doing our work. So the force we cannot see. Like the example, we can see that kilograms and grams, we can see the quantity. This is 500 grams, this is 1000 grams is equal to 1 kg. But in the case of force, we can't see force with our eyes. So it has effects. Mm, to observe force, it has its um, effect through which we can understand the forces used here, the forces produced here, or the force we applied on the object. So what is the effect? Like we can say, a force can stop the moving bodies. So for example, we can understand that a small child is just running towards ourselves in a very fast way, and the man or the mother of her child, that child, took her in her hand. So suddenly what happens, it stops. So the mother exerts force on the moving body, which is her child, and stops her. Or we can say the change of direction. So like we throw a ball and hit a wall, it exerts a frictional force, and against the ball comes towards in direction. So we throw the ball in away from us, but with the force it comes and it changes its direction. Many more, like it changes the direction, it stops, it changes its shapes, and even if it stops, or even a rest body, if we, like a toy car, if we pull a car with our finger, then it gets accelerated and it's started moving. So this is the effect of force. Now we are going to study the types of force. What are the types of force? So basically it is of two types. One is balanced, second one is unbalanced. Balanced force and unbalanced force. So as the name suggests, balanced and unbalanced, which we can understand what is this. So balanced force is that force in which the object does not produces any motion or any changes. Like for example, a wooden block of 10 kg, suppose we are giving a force of 5 Newton. The N is a Newton, the unit of force. So we are giving the force of 5 Newton, and the same frictional force acting on it is of 5 Newton. Then this kind of force is known as balanced force, and in this the wooden block has no movement. We can say no movement. And in the second case, same wooden block of 10 kg, we are applying a force of 10 Newton and the frictional force of 8 Newton. Then what happened? The object will move in this direction. So yes, movement is possible in this kind of force. So here from this you can understand what is balanced and unbalanced forces is there. Thank you for the time. If you have any doubts, you can comment below my section and have your query classes at the next video session. So we'll meet again. Thank you once again.